Listen to me. If you don't hear anything else I say today, hear this. Discipline is the difference between who you are and who you are capable of becoming. You don't need another motivational quote. You don't need another New Year's resolution. You need discipline, because discipline is what gets the job done when the excitement fades. People think success is about passion or talent or luck. No, success is about consistency. It's about showing up again and again, even when your feelings tell you not to. Passion gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. You've been dreaming too long. You've been talking too much. Now it's time to execute. Discipline is what separates dreamers from doers. It's the reason some people talk about goals for 10 years, while others achieve them in 1. I'm not impressed by how hyped you are on day 1. I'm impressed by how you show up on day 1,000 when nobody's clapping. That's discipline. When you see someone at the top of their game, a CEO, an athlete, a leader, don't just admire their success. Understand their sacrifice. Understand their structure. Understand their discipline. Because greatness is not magic, it's method. Discipline means saying no when everything in you wants to say yes to comfort. It means staying hungry when everyone else is satisfied. It means working when others are sleeping, studying when others are relaxing, believing when others are doubting. You can't live 2 lives, one of laziness and one of greatness. You've got to choose. And let me tell you something. Discipline is not a punishment. It's a privilege. It's the highest form of self-love. When you're disciplined, you're telling yourself, I deserve better than average. Discipline hurts, no doubt. It's supposed to, because growth doesn't happen in comfort. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. Every rep that burns, every early morning that stings, every rejection that humbles you, that's discipline shaping you into who you were meant to be. You want to quit? Good. That's a sign you're close to something great. You think Kobe never got tired? You think Beyoncé never felt pressure? Of course they did, but they didn't stop. Pain is temporary, but quitting makes it permanent. When you quit once, it becomes a habit. And when you practice quitting, you'll start quitting on everything: your dreams, your relationships, your purpose. You have to rewire your mind to understand that pain is the pathway. Every successful person you admire, they built their dream on discipline and discomfort. They didn't feel like doing it either, but they did it anyway. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop saying, when I feel ready. You'll never feel ready. You start now, scared, tired, uncertain, but you start. That's where confidence is born, in the fire of discipline. Let's keep it real. Motivation fades. It's like caffeine. It wakes you up, but it doesn't keep you up. That's why so many people quit after a week. They were running on motivation, not on mission. But discipline doesn't depend on your feelings. It depends on your decision. When your alarm goes off, you don't think, you move. When the opportunity comes, you don't hesitate, you act. That's how disciplined people win. The person who wins is not the smartest, not the fastest, not the strongest. It's the one who can stay consistent the longest. You might not be where you want to be yet, but if you keep showing up, you'll get there. Because life rewards effort, not excuses. The people who keep grinding, keep believing, keep fighting, they always find a way. Discipline doesn't give you shortcuts, it gives you strength. You learn to say, I don't care how I feel today. I made a promise to myself and I'm keeping it. That's the mindset that changes everything. The enemy isn't out there. The enemy is inside. It's the version of you that wants to stay comfortable. It's the version that says, let's do it tomorrow. It's the version that settles for average. You can't conquer the world until you conquer yourself. Discipline is the weapon that silences that lazy, fearful, doubting version of you. Every time you say no to procrastination, you strengthen your spirit. Every time you choose progress over pleasure, you build power. You become dangerous, not to others, but to your old self. Most people never reach their potential because they're undisciplined, they're distracted, they're inconsistent. You can't build an empire with weak habits. You can't reach greatness with average effort. When you master discipline, you become your own coach, your own motivator, your own accountability. You don't need someone to remind you who you are, you remind yourself, because deep down, you know what you're capable of. Success has a cost, and the currency is discipline. Before you get the applause, you'll go through the silence. Before people recognize your name, you'll have to believe in it when nobody else does. Everybody sees the results, but nobody sees the routine. Everybody wants the glory, but few want the grind. There are no hacks, no shortcuts, no easy routes. You either pay the price now or pay it later with regret. The choice is yours. When you sacrifice sleep, when you say no to comfort, when you put focus on your craft, you're building something unbreakable. One day, that sacrifice will pay off. You'll wake up and realize that all those lonely nights, all those early mornings, all those rejections, they were preparing you. Every moment of discipline is a brick in the foundation of your success. Let me ask you a question. What will people say about you when you're gone? Will they say you were talented, or will they say you were disciplined? Because talent fades, but discipline leaves a legacy. People might forget your words, but they'll remember your work ethic. They'll remember that you showed up when nobody else did. They'll remember that you kept pushing even when it didn't make sense. Discipline is how you honor your gift. It's how you respect your purpose. If you want to change your life, you have to change your habits. If you want to change your habits, you need discipline. Start small. Make your bed. Read for 30 minutes. Wake up earlier. Eat cleaner. Move with intention. Small disciplines repeated daily lead to massive success over time. And when you look back years from now, you'll thank yourself for every day you stayed consistent when it would have been easier to quit. Some people think discipline is restrictive, like it takes away your freedom. But discipline is freedom. Freedom from fear, freedom from laziness, freedom from the opinions of others. When you're disciplined, you control your life instead of being controlled by circumstances. You decide your direction. You decide your destiny. You stop living on impulse and start living on purpose. You know why some people never reach their goals? Because they're slaves to their feelings. They only work when they're happy. They only grind when they're excited. They only stay consistent when things are easy. But disciplined people, they work through the pain. They fight through the doubt. They keep going through the storm. Because they understand storms don't stop progress. They sharpen it. Discipline makes you unshakable. It gives you power when the world says quit. There's greatness in you. You know it, I know it, but it won't show up until you master discipline. Stop talking, start doing. Stop waiting for motivation, start with commitment. You don't need perfect conditions, you need consistent actions. You don't need approval, you need focus. You don't need luck, you need grind. Wake up tomorrow and decide, no matter what happens, you'll stay disciplined. Because when you live with discipline, you become unstoppable. That's the power of discipline. It doesn't just change what you do, it changes who you are. Let's get it.